The reason we decided to get a building like this on this actual plot, the garden and the main building of my daughter and my son-in-laws, they were quite keen for us to move here as well, because obviously we're sharing bills and whatever. Ultimately, in this day and age, I think you sort of have to do stuff like that now, you know. It's such a beautiful view, we're back onto the river. We thought that maybe we could have like a base area and then do a bit of travelling, like we're both retired now. It made sense to move into something a bit smaller. Our heat map of our old house, we'd got rooms that were just shut and never used unless somebody visited. So actually building this, the square footage of the design, is about the same as we were living in before if you ignore the rooms. Researching the company to do the work, we obviously did what everybody does and went on the internet. We found a couple of companies, and then we came across Composite Garden Buildings, and we nipped over to their showroom. We just loved the stuff that we saw over there. I mean, the showroom village is really good. Because of the size of this plot, we just had to design it more bespokely. We managed to like footprint it out just to see what it looked like. So it wasn't actually a big job to get the ground in a place where we needed it to be. I think the biggest issue was the fact that it slopes down towards the river. We started off at basically nothing, and we're like quite about 1 metre high at this end. But that's actually fantastic for us because we can just sit watching all the swans and that in the river, so it's really good. We were visiting the Composite Garden Buildings subcontractors that they recommended for us to use for kitchens and bathrooms and stuff, and we were making choices on flooring and what colour we want the blinds and what kitchen we want, and we'd basically got everything designed out ready. As soon as the planning came through, and it is only planning for, they class it as a mobile home, so it's not planning as in like building an extension, it's more a certificate just to say that they've allowing you to do it, basically. So once that planning had come through and we got the go-ahead, the guys came out and they basically laid and created a wooden footprint frame of where it was going to be. We had to move the drain, because one of the drains would have been, the manhole cover would have been underneath the building, so we had to move it to the lawn. And then once that was in, they basically came back and did it properly with the concrete piles and levelled it all off. It was quite quick, really. They sort of dropped the sills in and the sides and started slotting everything in, and it went up really, really quickly. They were just like really flexible, and they were talking to us all the way through. At one point there was an additional wall in there, but we decided not to have it, and they were fine about that. Yeah, I mean, they were dead helpful, but some of the items we could change our mind at the last minute, more or less. In the meantime, the electrician had been in and put all the cabling and everything, like the first fit. And then one of their other guys, Robbie, he spent about two and a half weeks here, and he did all the kitchen and the bathroom and fitted all that out. And I like the fact that compared to the house, we're on one level. I like the location. I think it works better because of the location. You know, you put the heating on, 10 minutes later you go in to open the doors, and then when we had a really hot day last month, we had the aircon on to give it a try, and it was brilliant. The company to deal with, I mean, Jason, the owner guy, he's just brilliant. He's very determined and very in the job, you know. He'll text you quite early in the morning if he wants a question answering, and he's really positive and proactive with it. And he used great guys, you know. The guys that did the electric work were really good. They would, you know, where do you want this? You know, plug about here, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Right down to the guys that did the finishing on the outside. You know, they all came. They knew what the job was. Would I recommend Composite Garden Buildings? Well, yeah, definitely, 100%. From what I've seen on the market, they're probably the leaders, I would think, in this kind of building. The price was really competitive. Jason never, you know, there was a few changes along the way, but he was really good about it. He said we'll knock a bit off for this and put a bit on for that, and it came in actually a little bit under what we thought. If you're going to have a composite garden building, they're the men for the job.